Welcome everyone to this video. So today in this video I will be walking you through the entire or the complete details of Snowflake Workspaces, and again that's another capability which has been very recently launched as part of Snowflake Summit. And I will actually also show you guys how things work within Workspaces and how it is very different when you normally compare Workspaces with the worksheets which is already available within Snowflake. So without much ado, let us quickly see how to kind of ensure that we start using the workspace. So whenever we will log in to Snowflake, we will get this home page. Okay, now to navigate to Workspaces, you go to projects and you see something like Workspaces here. Okay, so this is the Workspaces. Okay, now if you will click over here, that's where it will take you to the Workspaces. Okay, now what I will do is I'll actually show what all are the different panes which this workspace has, and there is another window or I have also opened wherein I'm showing this is nothing but your worksheets. Okay, now if you see worksheets, it is pretty simple. It is also a very user friendly console. Okay, and these are the various tiles you get, and this has been used by most of our kind of teams who are already into Snowflake, right? But this one is pretty much new, and obviously it has its own I will say that elevated capabilities within Snowsite. Okay, now over here if you see, I can easily add a lot of files. So the files can be your SQL, can be your think of it like multiple your markup files, right? A lot of other files I can add. And then once I add the files over here, I've added the files. What you can do is you can also add a lot of worksheets, okay, that you own. Okay, now if you click over here, okay, now that's where you will see a lot of worksheets which will be kind of shown to you, right? And then what you do is, let's say you drag this. Okay, right? Now think of it like since it is brand new, there are few certain features which are being explored. So what you can also do is you can double click these worksheets. Okay, and so what it will do is it will start opening up in different windows. Okay, right? So that is how you will get lot of worksheet opening up in multiple windows. Okay, and then what else you can do is, what else rather there is a differentiator which even I liked, right, with respect to at least these workspaces. If you see this, right, let's say if I am into one particular database and one schema, it will give me the view on total number of kind of objects present at a schema level. Okay, right? If you see, if I click on this schema, it is clearly showing me how many tables, stages, file formats, and so on and so forth, right? Now in the worksheet, right, if I go right, and in the same database, in the same schema, I have all these things, but you will not get a view of total number of tables, stages, and file formats. So that's one of the difference whenever you see these kind of new capability which is coming in. Another thing also, I was trying it out over here. Now if let's say this is your worksheet, right, and you want to kind of drag it to here. Okay, so it was actually it happens, right? I mean, with respect to at least you trying to drag things and then kind of make it accessible over here. So I'll not do that, right? But these are the various options. If you try, then obviously you will see that added advantage, okay, of using the workspaces, right? Now let us quickly go and see the in-depth details of these workspaces, and that is exactly where we will see the value add of this workspace. Right now we have seen how the tile functionality works, right, with respect to at least it giving us flexibility on having different category of files all clubbed in one window, right, and also showing the total number of objects. Right now if you hide it, these are the total number of objects that we see, right? And then one important thing is take an example, right? This is again, I will try to maybe add, or let me do one thing, double click this one, right? Now over here, traditionally what used to happen is, now if I want to execute any query, okay, so let's say this is my simple query which I'm trying to execute. Okay, now what happens is, obviously it will give me, oh sorry, let me choose a database, right? So let me choose a database name which is here, and let me choose a schema. Okay, now what I do is I will try to kind of run this query. Okay, now this is exactly what I get. But now think of it like, if I go over here, okay, and then I try to execute some query over here, then obviously I'll not be getting that side by side view. Okay, wherein, let's say, if I want to do some multitasking, I want to actually kind of see the side by side layout. Okay, and what does that exactly mean? So if you just kind of hover onto these three dots, okay, and then there is something called a split right. Now if you do this, that's exactly where you get two kind of splitted layouts, wherein, let's say, if you execute one query over here, okay, right, so let's say let me minimize my window so that I just get the play button. Okay, right, so that's where you get this kind of output, right? And then you can easily switch to this console, and this console becomes active, right? And that's exactly when you kind of try to execute certain queries, right? Now think of it like you have got a very, very large kind of desktop or a monitor, right? And that's where you want to do multitasking and have 3-4 layouts open. So now that can be, that is a possibility through Workspaces, right? And which actually was not possible using your traditional worksheets. Okay, that's when you have to create multiple worksheets, but that side by side layout view was not possible. Okay, right? So this is one of the feature in the Workspace, which is extremely, at least I see it is going to, again, right, amplify the user experience whenever someone tries to do a lot of activities within your console, right? Now then another important thing is, let's say we execute one query, okay, limit 20, or let's say maybe limit 100, I will say. Okay, and then I execute the query. Okay, now let's see what happens over here. Now obviously you will get a lot of output. Okay, now I want to also draw a comparison. Okay, now the same query I will execute over here, okay, through the worksheets, and then I will see what is the output. Okay, now over here obviously I'll get some 100 records. Here also I got 100 records. But one thing which you will see the difference is these three kind of vertical bars, and that's where there is something called a show column stats. Okay, now over here you will not see those show column stats. Okay, now what does that mean? If I click over here, okay, it will clearly give me what all are the column level statistics available with respect to the output that I got. A very simple example, let's say order priority. Okay, now let's say out of 100 records I have got maybe the order priority values are 5, 4, 3, 2, so on and so forth. So these are the different values that I get. Okay, and that here is the percentage also. So let's say the priority is 5 low, so 24% of the column present in this output is having 5 low. Okay, and likewise there are other values in which the segregated output is also given. Okay, and one important thing also which I liked about it, let's say I click over here, okay, and then I want to further do a filtration on just 5 low. I'll just put an apply. Okay, and that's, you see all the values will now be changed to 5 low. Okay, right? That is how you can use your inline column level kind of statistics, right? Your inline column level statistics, you can always use it and see how beautifully it works within your workspaces, which again is not there in your worksheet, right? Now then comes a very important, I would say that kind of capability, which is obviously catering to your AI GenAI, which is called as your inline copilot. Okay, so again, so I just want to reiterate, it is an inline copilot. For me, it is again a very, very standout feature, and it is very, very widely going to be used, right? You see this icon, right? So that is exactly what is the meaning of your Inline Copilot, which is nothing but your GenAI suggestions with Control I. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Okay. So first, I will just demonstrate what was there earlier in worksheet. Now, if you see worksheet, so this also has something like Copilot. Okay. Now here also I can ask lot of question. Okay. But I will never be able to ask some questions in this particular, I would say, that window or prompt. I have to really kind of click on that Copilot and I'll have to ask a lot of questions, right? But here, over here only, they are, rather Snowflake is giving us an option to ask a lot of natural language, question to help accelerate our day-to-day work and increase obviously our efficiency. Okay. Now, what kind of things can we do using this, inline GenAI? Okay. Related activities, right? Now over here it says that if I'll just maximize the prompt, it says that GenAI suggestions with Control I. Okay. Now what I will do is I will just kind of maybe just let me minimize this. Okay. Right. Now if you see this, I have used demo database, demo schema, and I'll try to do certain activities. Think of it like, let's say I will use this, my table will be this. Okay. Right, let's say my demo DB, demo schema and orders. Okay, let this be my table name. Okay, now what I will do is obviously I'll start using, let's say, Control I. Okay, right, now then I want to maybe at least start and think of it like I do not know SQL, right? Now I will just ask a very simple prompt. Okay, can you correct the SQL which is select count from, let's say my table is this one, right? Orders underscore 01. Okay, now let this be my prompt, right? And let me see whether my Copilot will be able to at least correct this particular SQL or not. Okay, and give me the the right output. You see this, you get a spinning wheel and see the console, right? I mean, you will really find it very interesting, right? Now you see this. So basically what I did was I have given a very incorrect SQL and it gave me a correct SQL, and it is even asking me whether I will accept or I will reject this kind of maybe generated output. But I don't see there is any wrong in it. So obviously this output is a valid output and hence I can obviously accept it. Okay, right? So that's you see this, right? That's one of the beauty of kind of inline Copilot. Okay, and then let's say I can even ask very complex query, right? Can you, let's say, write me a brand new SQL query, right? SQL query using all aggregate functions, right? Using all aggregate functions on top of the table, let's say orders underscore 001, orders underscore 001. Okay, let's see, because this obviously is a brand new SQL which my inline Copilot is expected to build for me. You see, right? I mean, all possible kind of aggregated functions have been used right now, and then it also gave me a select kind of query. Okay, and obviously I have an option to accept and reject, so I will obviously accept it, right? So these are the two things, right? And think of it like today, let's say I am a SQL developer, I don't know how to write a standard SQL procedure, right? So what am I going to do? Same, let's say Control I would need some predefined templates, okay, with respect to at least checking whether I am able to write certain SQL based stored procedure or not. So let's say I'll ask, can you share me a kind of template, let's say template for writing a SQL stored procedure, right? I mean within Snowflake, of course, SQL procedure, right? Now what will this do? Let's see, right? If it can obviously kind of give me some predefined template. You see this, you see the output, it is giving you the entire template through which once we use it, obviously I'll be able to kind of write my SQL code. Okay, now one last check also we will do, right? It's all about kind of exploring the art of possibilities, right? Let's say I'll try to check something whether it can generate some kind of insights around performance, right? Okay, for basically if I want to see whether some kind of performance improvement suggestions also this inline copilot can give me, right? So what I will do is, let's say, can you identify some performance improvement improvements, can you identify some performance improvement, okay, kind of suggestions on a query which is select star from, let's say, obviously my table name is not changing, I think it is your orders underscore 001. Okay, now let's say, obviously, if you see this, I have just fired a query which is like select star from a table, obviously, which we usually do not do, right? And then it is obviously trying to tell me that why can't I use instead of select star, just use your select definite column names and so on and so forth, right? And trust me folks, again, as I told, right, it is all about art of it's all about exploring the art of possibilities all within the platform, and I'm more than 100% sure, right, this is only going to improve within the console, because think of it like it is freshly coming out of the oven with respect to these capabilities. But I'm already seeing a lot of value add with respect to at least inline copilot, which is now think of it like I will be using on my day-to-day kind of work, right? Now one last thing also I would like to share is now the global access for the query history. Now as I was showing you, let's say you will have things like side by side, right? I mean, you will have, let's say, two windows, two tabs open, and then you keep on executing queries. All the kind of query IDs you will obviously see under one particular file. Okay, so we don't have to navigate through multiple windows and check for the query IDs, right? So I think that was all with respect to at least this workspaces, which is a brand new capability within Snowflake. But yeah, as this particular feature matures, we definitely going to see more and more enhancement. But already there is a lot for us to at least go and start using it, and then obviously see how it is going to kind of elevate that user experience and help improve the kind of day-to-day efficiency of anyone who is working on Snowflake, right? So thank you so much once again for watching this video. If you like this video, please feel free to kind of subscribe to my channel and like this video also. Thank you so much once again.